evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Can everyone hear me okay? It is Linden. I mean, on one hand, we get the air traffic. On the other hand, we're 10 minutes away from the airport. So you take the good with the bad. My name's Chris Hudak, Freeholder Chris Hudak. This is my colleague, Freeholder Rebecca Williams, and I want to welcome you to the Raymond Bauer Promenade for, I believe this is our third installment of Shakespeare in the Park and our annual dosage here in Linden of iambic pentameter. So a round of applause for the staff who put this all together. We're very privileged here today to have the Shakespeare Theater of New Jersey's performance troupe, the Shrew Mechanicals, and they are going to be performing Shakespeare Gumbo. It's always a pleasure to have a county event here in my home community. It's always great to see people come out. This is, I believe, the third year that we've done this. It was a great idea by our colleague Freeholder Jallo, and it's great to see that we're spreading culture throughout Union County. Just a quick reminder, there are other things going on in county parks throughout Union County this summer. We have our concert series at Echo Lake and Oak Ridge. There will be family flicks in Warnaco Park, and I believe there's another opportunity for Shakespeare, Freeholder?
Yes, if you'd like to see this production again, you actually have two opportunities. It will be showing on this coming Friday evening at Echo Lake Park at 7 p.m. And again, there's a matinee performance in Plainfield at Cedarbrook Park on July 22nd at 12:30 p.m. If you want to get some more information on our programs, go to the website ucnj.org or take one. I see some of you have the information already. Yeah. So thanks again for joining us. Yeah. Thank you.
And just with other events in the county park staff has a table with information, with the concerts, the films, everything right in the front. You probably walked past it when you came in. Please grab something, and please come out to the parks this summer. Every day is going to be just like tonight. Good
That's
weather.
Right.
All right. Without further ado, no more talking heads. Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show.
All right, so I am Ryan. I am one of the members of the Shrew Mechanicals. This is one of two touring companies coming out of the Shakespeare Theater of New Jersey. Tonight for you guys, we have I guess you can call it a smorgasbord of different Shakespeare selections, all right, and also selections inspired by Shakespeare. It's about an hour, all right, so, it's quick, it's fun, you'll enjoy it. Now, what I want to say is if you have any kind of electronics, like cell phones, anything that makes noise, beepers, I don't know if they still make those, but if you happen to have one, please put it on silent. All right, we like to keep it pretty classic here. There was no cell phones in Shakespeare's time, so, let's dial it down. And lastly, if you did not fill out your raffle tickets, please do that, okay? Because there will be a raffle at the end, and you could win 2 tickets to the Shakespeare Theater in New Jersey for whatever show you'd like to see, so that's always exciting. And afterward, we will have if you have any questions or comments or even concerns afterwards, feel free to ask us, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. All right? So without further ado, enjoy the show.
What a piece of work is man, how noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals.
I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth.
This goodly frame, the earth seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you. This brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire. Why, it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man, how noble in reason. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you. This brave or hanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, why, it appeareth nothing to me but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable in action, how like an angel in apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me, nor woman neither.
Look, here she comes.
Oh, will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker now from the furthest inch of Asia. Bring you the length of Prester John's foot. Pluck you a hair from the great Cham's beard. Do you any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy?
Oh!
You have no employment for me?
None but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir. Here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, you have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent me it a while, and I gave him use for it, a double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it off me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
Oh, so I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools.
I do much wonder how one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music in him but the drum and the fife. And now would he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would walk 10 mile afoot just to see a good armor. And now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now he is turned orthography. His words, a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it. Till love hath made an oyster of me, he'll never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another is virtuous, yet I am well. Until all graces come in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise or I'll none. Virtuous or I'll not cheapen her. Fair or I'll not look on her. Mild or come not near me. Noble or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God.
Oh, Sylvia.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the axe upon the humbled neck, but first begs pardon. Will you sterner be than he that dies and lives by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tells me there is murder in mine eyes. 'Tis pretty sure and very probable that eyes that are the frailest and softest things who shut their coward gates on atomy should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Now I do frown on thee with all my heart, and if mine eyes can wound, then let them kill thee. Well, now counterfeit to swoon, how now fall down, or if thou canst not, oh, for shame. For shame, lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Now show the wound mine eye hath made in thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not. For I am sure there is no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever, as that ever may be near, you meet in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time, come not thou near me, and when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Pity me not, for till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why? And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother, that you insult, exalt, and all at once o'er the wretched? What, though you have no beauty, as by my faith I see no more in you than without candle may go dark to bed, must you be therefore proud and pitiless? Oh, why, what means this? Why do you look on me so? I see no more in you than in the ordinary of nature's sail work. Odds my little life, I think she means to tangle my eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress, hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky brow, your black silk hair, your bugle eyeball, nor your cheek of cream that can entame my spirits to your worship. Oh, you, foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her, like foggy south puffing with wind and rain? Huh? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she a woman. 'Tis such fools as you that makes the world full of ill-favored children. 'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her, and out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments can show her. But, mistress, know yourself. Down on your knees and thank heaven fasting for a good man's love. For I must tell you, friendly, in your ear, sell when you can, You are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy, love him, take his offer. Foul is most foul, being foul to be a scoffer. So, take her to the shepherd, Fare you well.
Sweet youth, I pray you chide a year together. I had rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He's fallen in love with your foulness.
Oh.
And she'll fall in love with my anger. If it be so, as fast as she answers thee with frowning looks, I'll sauce her with bitter words. Oh, why do you look on me so?
For no ill will I bear you.
I pray you, do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not. Shepherd, ply her hard, Shepherdess, look on him better, and be not so proud, though all the world could see, none could be so abused in sight as he.
Dead shepherd, now I find thy saw of might. Whoever loved that loved not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe,
Oh. What sayest thou, Sylvia?
sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Sylvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love, by giving love, your sorrow and my grief were both exterminated.
Thou hast my love, is not that neighborly?
Oh, I would have you.
Oh, why that were covetousness. Silvius, the time was that I hated thee, and yet it is not that I bear thee love, but that thou canst talk of love so well. Thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll employ thee too. Oh, but do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
Loose now and then a scattered smile, and that I'll live upon.
Knowest now the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft, and he hath bought the cottage in the bounds that the old carlet once was master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy. Yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he that speaks them pleases those that hear. Ah, it is a pretty youth. Not very pretty, but sure he's proud. And yet his pride becomes him. He'll make a proper man. The best thing in him is his complexion, and faster than his tongue did make offense, his eye did heal it up. Well, he is not very tall, yet for his years he's tall. His leg is but so, and yet 'tis well. Oh, there was a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than that mixed in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference betwixt the constant red and mingled damask. Oh, there be some women, Silvius, had they marked him in parcels, as I would have gone near to fall in love with him, but I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet, I have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what had he to do to chide at me? He said mine eyes black, and my hair black, and now I am remembered, scorned at me. I marvel why I answered not again, but that's all one. Omittance is no quittance. I'll write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Silvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter's in my head and in my heart. I will be bitter with him and passing short. Go with me, Silvius.
Music be the food of love. Play on. Give me excess of it, that surfeiting the appetite may sicken and so die. Oh, the
It strained again. It had a dying fall. Oh, it came o'er my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough! No more. 'Tis not so sweet now as it was before. Oh, spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou that notwithstanding thy capacity receiveth as the sea, not enters there of what validity and pitch soe'er, but falls into abatement and low price even in a minute. So full of shapes is fancy, that it alone is high fantastical.
Will you go hunt, my lord?
What, Curio?
The hart?
Why, so I do. The noblest that I have. Oh, when my eyes did see Olivia first, methought she purged the air of pestilence. That instant was I turned into a hart. And my desires, like fell and cruel hounds, ere since pursue me.
Oh, hateful hands to tear such loving words, injurious wasps, to feed on such sweet honey and kill the bees that yield it with your stings. I'll kiss each several paper for amends. Look, here is writ, kind Julia, unkind Julia. As in revenge of thy ingratitude, I throw thy name against the bruising stones, trampling contemptuously on thy disdain. Ooh. And here is writ, love wounded Proteus. Poor wounded name. My bosom as a bed shall lodge thee till thy wound be thoroughly healed. And thus I search it with the sovereign kiss. But twice, or thrice was Proteus written down. Oh, be calm, good wind. Blow not a word away until I have found each letter in the letter. Well, except mine own name, that some whirlwind bear unto a ragged, fearful hanging rock, and throw it thence into the raging sea. Lo, here in one line is his name twice writ. Poor forlorn Proteus, passionate Proteus, to the sweet Julia. Well, that I'll tear away. And yet I will not. Sith so prettily he couples it to his complaining names. Thus will I fold them, one upon another, then kiss, embrace, contend. Do what you will.
Oh, will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, that was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Oh, did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he's the prince's jester. A very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. Oh, I'm sure he is in this fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Oh, do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure, not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. And then there will be a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, kneeling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then, the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail, unwillingly to school. And then, the lover, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. And then, the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good cape in line, with eye severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Devouring time, blunt thou the lion's paws, and make the earth devour her own sweet brood. Pluck the keen teeth from the fierce tiger's jaws, and burn the long-lived phoenix in her blood. Make glad and sorry seasons as thou fleest, and do whate'er thou wilt, swift-footed time to the wide world and all her fading sweets. But I forbid thee one most heinous crime. O carve not with thy hours my love's fair brow, nor draw no lines there with thine antique pen. Him in thy course untainted do allow, for beauty's pattern to succeeding men. Yet do thy worst, old time, despite thy wrong, my love shall, in my verse, live ever young. How goes it now? He looks gentler than he did.
He hath commanded me to go to bed and bid me to dismiss you.
Dismiss me?
It was his bidding. Therefore, good Amelia, give me my nightly wearing and adieu. We must not now displease him.
I would you had never seen him.
So would not I. My love doth so approve him that even in his stubbornness, his checks, his frowns hath grace and favor in them. Prithee, unpin me.
I have laid those sheets you bade me on the bed.
All's one. Good faith, how foolish are our minds. If I do die before thee, prithee shroud me in one of those same sheets.
Come, you talk.
My mother had a maid called Barbary. She was in love, and he she loved proved mad and did forsake her. She had a song of willow, an old thing 'twas, but it expressed her fortune, and she died singing it. That song tonight will not go from my mind. I have much to do but to go hang my head all to one side and sing it like poor Barbary. This Lodovico is a proper man.
A very handsome man.
He speaks well.
I know a lady in Venice would have walked barefoot to Palestine for a touch of his nether lip.
A poor soul sat sighing by a sycamore tree. Sing olive green willow, her hand on her bosom, her head on her knee. Sing willow, willow, willow. The fresh streams ran by her and murmured her moans. Sing willow, willow. Her soft tears fell from her and softened the stones. Lay by these. Sing willow, willow, willow. Prithee hide thee. He'll come anon. Sing olive green willow, must my garland be? Let nobody blame him, the scorn I oppose. Nay, that's not natural. Hark! Who is that knocks?
It is the wind.
I call my but what said he then? Sing willow, willow, willow. So get thee gone. Good night. Mine eyes do itch. Doth that bode weeping?
'Tis neither here nor there.
I have heard it said so. Oh, these men, these men! Dost thou in conscience think, tell me, Amelia, that there be women do abuse their husbands in such gross kind?
There be some such, no question.
Wouldst thou do such a deed for all the world?
Why would not you?
No, by this heavenly light.
Well, nor I neither by this heavenly light. I might do it as well in the dark.
Wouldst thou do such a deed for all the world?
The world's a huge thing. It's a great price for a small vice.
In troth, I think thou wouldst not.
In troth, I think I should, and undo it when I had done it. Mary, I would not do such a thing for a joint ring, nor for measures of lawn, nor for gowns, petticoats, nor caps, nor any petty exhibition, but for the whole world. Ah, it's pity. Who would not make her husband a cuckold to make him a monarch? I should venture purgatory for it.
Beshrew me if I would do such a wrong for the whole world.
Why, the wrong is but a wrong in the world. And having the world for your labor, 'tis a wrong in your own world, and you might quickly make it right.
I do not think there is any such a woman.
Yes, a dozen. And as many to the vantage as would store the world they played for. But I do think it is their husbands' faults if wives do fall. Say that they slack their duties, and pour our treasures into foreign laps, or else break out in peevish jealousies, throwing restraint upon us. Or say they strike us, or scant our former having in despite. Why, we have goals, and though we have some grace, yet have we some revenge. Let husbands know their wives have sense like them. They see and smell and have their palates both for sweet and sour as husbands have. What is it that they do when they change us for others? Is it sport? I think it is. Doth affection breed it? I think it doth. Is it frailty that thus errs? It is so, too. And have not we affections, desires for sport and frailty as men have? Then let them use us well. Else let them know the ills we do, their ills instruct us so.
Good night. Good night. Heaven me such uses send, not to pick bad from bad, but by bad mend.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Harpier cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go. In the poisoned entrails throw. Told that under cold stone, days and nights has 31. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boil thou first, if a charmed pot.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake.
Eye of newt, and toe of frog, wool of bat, and tongue of dog.
Adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing.
For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the ravened salt sea shark, root of hemlock, digged in the dark.
Liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat, and slips of yew silvered in the moon's eclipse. Nose of Turk, and Tartar's lips.
Finger of birth-strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab. Make the gruel thick and slab.
Add thereto a tiger's chaldron for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood. Then the charm is firm and good.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks!
Look what I have! Are you ready, Chef 1?
Ready?
Are you ready, Chef 2?
Ready?
Are you ready, Chef 4?
Ready? And are you ready, Chef 3?
Oh, quite ready.
Round about the soup pot go. In its depths, some Hamlet throw.
Words, words, words!
Add a bit of much ado. And midsummer's magic dew. Stir it up with playwright's quill. And let it settle till it's still.
Mumbo!
Jumbo.
Shakespeare gumbo.
Fire it up
And let it rumbo! Mixed with speech of Danish prince, thrown in with some two gents minced.
Benedict and Beatrice spice makes the batter sweet and nice.
Honeyed words from Twelfth Night's tunes. Mix them in with ancient spoons.
For a gumbo Shakespeare style, add a jester's wit and smile. How to brew a Shakespeare chowder?
Sprinkle it with poet's powder! Desdemona's flowing locks, Phoebe's taunts and hurtful mocks, root of reason ground to bits by Hamlet's unrelenting fits.
A dash of love-lorn liquor-ish makes this quite a tasty dish.
Add thereto a hint of satire, and turn the flame up on the fire.
Mumbo jumbo Shakespeare gumbo, fire it up and let it rumble! Cool it with a sonnet's line. Then the gumbo's mighty fine.
Ooh, by the pricking of my nose, something Shakespeare this way blows.
Brush up your Shakespeare. Start quoting him now. Brush up your Shakespeare, and your bodies you will wow.
Just to claim a few lines from Othello, and they'll think you're a hell of a fellow. If your blonde won't respond with respect to her, tell her what Tony told Cleopatra.
If she fights when her clothes you are mussin', what are clothes much ado about nothing? Brush up your Shakespeare, and they'll all kowtow.
Brush up your Shakespeare. Start quoting him now. Brush up your Shakespeare, and your buddies you will wow.
If you can't be a ham and do Hamlet, they will not give a damn or a damnlet. Just recite an occasional sonnet, and your lap will have honey upon it.
If you're looking to make Shakespeare gumbo, just fire it up, let it rumble. Brush up your Shakespeare, and they'll all kowtow. And they'll all kowtow. Think so. And they'll all kowtow.
We
And
try.
they'll all kowtow.
If they
And they'll all kowtow.
When shall we three?
4.
When shall we four meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done,
That will be ere the set of sun.
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
no. You had money in both hands.
Yes.
Every time?
Yes.
What's the point of that?
I wanted to make you happy.
How much did he give you?
Who?
The king? He gave us some money.
Well, how much did he give you?
I asked you first.
I got the same as you.
He wouldn't discriminate between us.
How much did you get?
The same?
How do you know?
You just told me. How do you know?
Well, he wouldn't discriminate between us.
Even if he could.
Which he never could.
He couldn't even be sure of mixing us up.
Without mixing us up.
Why don't you say something original? No wonder the whole thing is so stagnant. You never take me up on anything. You just repeat it in a different order.
I can't think of anything original. I'm only good in support.
I'm sick of calling the shots.
It must be your dominant personality. Oh, what's going to become of us?
Oh, don't cry. It'll be all right. There. I'll see we're all right.
We've got nothing to go on. We're out on our own.
We're on our way to England. We're taking Hamlet there.
What for?
What for? Where have you been?
When? We won't know what to do when we get there.
We take him to the king.
Will he be there?
No. The King of England.
He's expecting us.
No.
He won't know what we're playing at. What are we going to say?
We've got a letter. You remember the letter?
Do I?
Everything is explained in the letter. We count on that.
Is that it then?
What?
We take Hamlet to the English king, we hand over the letter. What then?
Maybe there's something in the letter to keep us going a bit.
And if not?
Then that's it. We're finished.
At a loose end?
Yes?
Are there likely to be loose ends? Who is the English king?
Depends on when we get there.
What do you think the letter says?
Oh, greetings, expressions of loyalty, asking of favors, calling in of debts, obscure promises balanced by vague threats, diplomacy. Regards to the family.
And about Hamlet?
Oh, yes.
And us? The full background?
I should say so.
So we've got a letter which explains everything.
You've got it. What's the matter?
The letter.
Have you got it?
Have I? Where would I have put
So
it?
you can't have lost it?
I must have.
That's odd. I thought he gave it to me.
Perhaps he did.
But you were so sure it was you who hadn't got it.
It was me who hadn't got it.
But if you gave it to me, then there's no reason why you should have had it in the first place, in which case, I don't see what all the fuss is about you not having it.
I admit it's confusing.
This is all getting rather undisciplined. The boat, the night, the sense of isolation and uncertainty, all these induce a loosening of concentration. But you must not lose control. Tighten up. Now, either you have lost the letter, or you didn't have it to lose in the first place. In which case, the king never gave it to you. In which case, he gave it to me. In which case, I would have put it in my inside left boot. In which case, it will be here. We mustn't drop off like that again.
Now that we have found it, why were we looking for it?
We thought it was lost.
Something else?
No?
Now we've lost the tension.
What tension?
What was the last thing I said before we wandered off?
When was that?
I can't remember.
What a shambles! We're just not getting anywhere.
Not even England. I don't believe in it anyway.
What?
England.
Just a conspiracy of cartographers, you mean?
I mean, I don't believe it. I have no image. I tried to picture us arriving at a little harbor, perhaps, roads, inhabitants to point the way, horses on the road, riding for a day or fortnight, and then a palace and the English king. That would be the logical thing. But my mind remains a blank. No, we're slipping off the map. Yes. Yes.
But you don't believe anything till it happens, and it has all happened. Hasn't it?
We drift down time clutching at straws. But what good's a brick to a drowning man?
Well, don't give up. We can't be long now.
We might as well be dead. Do you think death could possibly be a boat?
No. Death is not. Death isn't. You take my meaning? Death is the ultimate negative, not being. You can't not be on a boat.
I've frequently not been on boats.
No. What you've been is not on boats.
I wish I was dead. I could jump over the side. That would put a spoke in their wheel.
Unless they're counting on it.
I shall remain on board. That'll put a spoke in their wheel. All right. We don't question, we don't doubt, we perform. But a line must be drawn somewhere, and I would like to put it on record that I have no confidence in England. Thank you. And even if it's true, it'll just be another shambles.
I don't see why.
He won't know what we're talking about. What are we going to say?
We say, Your Majesty, we have arrived.
And who are you?
We are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Never heard of you.
Well, we're nobody special.
What's your game?
We've got our instructions.
First I've heard
Let
of
me
it.
finish. We've come from Denmark.
What do you want?
Nothing. We're delivering Hamlet.
Who's he?
You've heard of him.
Oh, I've heard of him, all right, and I want nothing to do with it.
But-
You march in here without so much as a by your leave and expect me to take in every lunatic who you try to pass off with a lot of unsubstantiated...
We got a letter!
I see. Well, this seems to support your story, such as it is. It is an exact command from the King of Denmark for several different reasons, importing Denmark's health and England's too. That on the reading of this letter, without delay, I should have Hamlet's head cut off. The sun's going down. It will be dark soon.
Do you think so?
I was just making conversation. We're his friends.
How do you know?
From our young days brought up with him.
You've only got their word for it.
But that's what we depend on.
Well, yes. And then again, no. Let us keep things in proportion. Assume, if you like, that they're going to kill him. Well, he is a man. He is mortal. Death comes to us all, etc. And consequently, he would have died anyway, sooner or later. Or to look at it from the social view, he is one man among many. The loss would be well within reason and convenience. And then again, what is so terrible about death? As Socrates so philosophically put it, since we don't know what death is, it is illogical to fear it. It might be very nice. Certainly it is a release from the burden of life, and to the godly, a haven and a reward. Or to look at it another way, we are little men. We don't know the ins and outs of the matter. There are wheels within wheels, etc. And it would be presumptuous of us to interfere with the designs of fate, or even of kings. All in all, I think we'd be well advised to leave well enough alone. Tie up the letter. There, neatly, like that. They won't notice the broken seal, assuming you were in character.
But what's the point?
Don't apply logic.
He's done nothing to us.
Or justice.
It's awful.
But it could have been worse. I was beginning to think it was.
The position as I see it then. We Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, from our young days brought up with him, awakened by a man standing on his saddle, are summoned and arrive and are instructed to glean what afflicts him and draw him on to pleasures such as a play, which, unfortunately, as it turns out, is abandoned in some confusion owing to certain nuances outside our appreciation, which, among other causes, results in, among other effects, a high, not to say homicidal, excitement in Hamlet, whom we, in consequence, are escorting for his own good To England. Good. We're on top of it now.
We defy augury. There is special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Since no man of aught he leaves knows what is to leave betimes, let be.
Oh, mistress mine, where are you roaming? Oh, stay and hear your true love's coming. Oh, stay and hear your true love's coming, that can sing both high and low. Trip no further, pretty sweeting. Journeys end in lovers' meeting. Every wise man's son doth know. Oh, tarry, good Beatrice. Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why, then your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do you not love me?
Troth, no. No more than reason.
Why, then my cousin, Margaret, and Ursula were much deceived, for they swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I did hear you were in a consumption.
Peace! I will stop your mouth. When that I was and a little tiny boy, with a hey-ho, the wind and the rain, a foolish thing was but a toy.
For the rain it raineth every day.
But when I came to man's estate, with a hey-ho, the wind and the rain, against knaves and thieves men shut their gate.
For the rain it raineth every day.
But when I came at last to wife,
With a hey-ho,
the wind and the rain, by swaggering could I never thrive.
For the rain it raineth every day.
But when I came unto my beds,
With a hey-ho, the wind and the rain,
with tosspot still had drunken heads.
For the rain it raineth every day.
A great while ago the world began, with a hey-ho, the wind and the rain. But that's all one, our play is done, and we'll strive to please you every day.